What's going on, guys? Tonight we are worried about relining our Piscifun Phantom. I'm doing this on the fly. I'm here over at Francis Slocum, my home lake. Piscifun, they just recently did a video on the PC Phantom explaining the dual braking system, which was just fantastic. They did it in a quick 5-minute video, and they really went in depth and detail on exactly which braking system means what, how to do which with what, and also how to set your spool tension, and did a great job on it. Really, I learned some things, so I'm going to be fixing those mistakes from the last video that I made. And for now, let's just reline our Piscifun, all right? All right, so to start, we are going to be lining this tonight with Berkeley Big Game 12-pound monofilament line. We're going with the exact specs that they suggest on here. I'm not going any bigger. Yes, normally I would like to put braid on here, nice 30-pound, but I don't know why, but when first starting with a Baitcaster, especially first learning it, really dialing it in, I was doing well with the braided, but I couldn't get the kinks out. I was still having a little bit of issues, so I figured, why not go with the mono? It's a lot easier to, learn on, and also to get backlashes out if you mess up. So that's what we're gonna go for. So aside from your line, the only other thing that you're going to need is some electrical tape and also your braided scissors. Make sure you have that nearby. Now we are going to line this while it's on my pole, and I'm gonna show you why. It's gonna make a world of difference. We're doing it on the fly. Like I said, I'm at the lake. I'm hoping that as soon as I get this lined up, we're gonna go out and make some casts, see how it is, and also see if we can catch some fish tonight. All right, guys, so first things first, go ahead and you're gonna run your line through your guides, bring it all the way up to your PC Phantom. Now, before you go and start lining it, I want you to do this extra step before you tie anything onto the spool. That way it'll make it easier for you to really get everything, nice and tight on here and make it as easy and quick as possible, especially while you're out in the water. So first things first, we're gonna go ahead and take the plate off of it, press the button, push down, pull off. And that way you can also see, you'll get to your centrifugal brakes. All right, and now just go ahead and pull the spool out. And you'll see why in a second. Now, like I said, make sure that you run it through your guides first. And then, before you go to the spool, here's what we're gonna do. I want you to go ahead and put it through your eye guide here. Now that is your spool guide. Take it through there, and then I want you to take your tag, and take it through where you pulled out your spool, okay? Now, that reason you're doing that, so when we put the spool back in, it's gonna make a world of difference and make things a lot easier once we start lining it up. So, now, I want you to go ahead, and in the middle holes here, I want you to take your line and go right through one of the middle holes here, put your line through, and it'll find the other center eye. As you see, my shirt's kind of bright, so we should be able to see it. Your tag comes right through. All right, now before you go ahead and make your overhand knot with this, I want you to go ahead and put a knot right on the end of this. Right on the end of your line on your tag, I want you just to make one knot. And what that's going to do is ensure that you don't have any slip. Right there, one overhand knot, one knot right there at the end. Now, to make it easier for yourself so you don't have to do it down here, go ahead, take your scissors and cut right above it. Right like that. So that way, there you go, that's what you see. Now, go ahead, take it and do one overhand, and then pull it tight to your spool, okay? Next, do one more to make a regular knot. Now there are many different ways to do this. This is just my preferred way. Go ahead and make it tight. Now, you may or may not need that whole extra line. All right, so I pulled it tight and I have no slippage. Also because the line is not wet, so it's not sliding. So we're just gonna go ahead and cut our tag end off. Now, this is the important part. This here is your guide. So this here, now as I'm showing it to you, it's gonna be opposite for me. This is where we're gonna start reeling it in. Okay, so if I turn it towards myself, this is how it reels in, okay, towards me. So before I go and do that, I want to take my electrical tape that we made sure to have. I'm only going to take about that much right there. It's roughly about 3 to 4 inches. All right. Now, the way that you're going to do this is keep the bar to your left, because that's how you reel it in. And then keep your line, hold it with these 2 fingers, like this, and then start down away from your knot. Hold the line, and then I want you to pull it hard, stretching it a bit, and reel in your line, making sure it stays straight, making sure it stays under the tape. Pull hard to get it in the middle of your spool, and just keep pulling hard all the way to the end. Make sure that your line stays under the tape. It could get a little tricky and could take a few times to really get the hang of this. I've relined quite a few of these, so kind of got the hang of it. Then once you get to the end, put it nice and tight, and now you see it's always right there in the center. And there's my line. So now we're gonna bring up our reel. And now here's the important part. Pull all of your access line, pull all the way through and keep it tight now. That way, when you go and put your spool back in where the spool tensioner is and your actual reel, it's now nice and tight, nothing's caught up, it's through your eyes, and boom. And then go ahead, before anything else, take your magnetic brake system in the other side plate, put it back in, twist, turn it, make sure that it's nice and locked in there and good, and you're all ready to go. Now the entire time is how I want you to do it. You're gonna hold the rod about 10 to 12 inches above the reel. Hold it there, and then you're gonna start slowly, nice and evenly, never speeding up too fast and not going too slow, just nice and even all the way through. Keep tension here and bring it through. All right guys, so we're all done. And now look, because I put it through my guides, there's all lined up. Now as you see, there's a little lip on either side of your spool, right where it goes from being nice and deep to an angle, a less drastic angle, and then goes to the end of your spool. Right there, you want to be able to keep that visible at all times. So that way you're not overlining your spool and you're not going to have issues later on with bunching up and also underneath it getting caught, because underneath here, that has a lot to do with how much line you have in it, because if there's too much, you'll also have some resistance there, and that'll mess up your magnetic and also your centrifugal brakes when casting and reeling in, etc. So make sure not to put too much on here. Now, one thing I should add, definitely should have added before I started, but as a tip now, I'm gonna make sure you know, make sure that you put your drag all the way up. You should not have any pull when you're going to line your spool. That way you're keeping as much tension as possible throughout the entire process, all right? So that's it. This all spooled up. I'm gonna throw something on here, come down here to the bottom of this this dike and rock pile and take some cast and see what we can do.
All right, so after I got down to the water, it was just too dark. Even though I had my light for my camera, I had my headlamp, it was just too dark to really show you guys exactly what I was doing, so that way it would help you. Now I'm gonna explain pretty much what I did and where I started from. So first and foremost, make sure that you adjust your drag, turn it down from the max setting you had it at before. Then I personally like to start my braking systems at max. My centrifugal was at 6 and my magnetic was a 10. And then I worked my way down there with a spool tension. Now here's a question for you guys. What are your main concerns when lining a reel for the first time? Whether it's a brand new reel you just got or one that you've had for a while and you're changing lines, what are some of your concerns and what some of your problems you're having? Make sure to leave a comment below and let me know. Also, I would love your feedback on the video and see what your thoughts are. Also, let me know if there's any videos that you'd like to see in the future. If you'd like me to go more in depth on the Piscifun Phantom, if you'd like me to go more in depth on some locations or products, definitely let me know in the comments below. Now for the rest of the night, I only made about 5-6 casts, and that was about it, and I ended my night.
Alright guys, hope you like this video tonight. I know it was short, but I want to show you how quick that you can really change your line and actually spool or re-spool a baitcaster while you're out on the water. Doesn't matter if it's at night, doesn't matter if it's during the day. You don't always need to be at home, you don't always need to have all the special tools. You can do it right on the fly with nothing but your spool, electrical tape, your rod and reel. If you like this video, please hit the like button, and also if you'd like to see more videos from me, hit the subscribe button with the little bell next to it so that way you're notified whenever a new video is uploaded. Also, check out my website, www.lifeaholics.com, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Thanks guys.